Hi, my name's Tom, and today I have a simple project. It's a hose repair, like a garden hose repair. And you can find yourself needing to do this for a lot of different reasons. Either you hit the hose with a lawnmower, or one of your clamps is bent, or in my case, my clamps are actually stuck together. I've been using a wrench and trying to use, I use liquid wrench, I use WD-40, I use everything I could to try to separate these two hoses. I have one 25-foot hose and another 25-foot hose, and I left them together as a 50-foot hose for about 2 seasons. But now I want to separate them out, and I want to put sprinklers in different parts of my yard, and it's just not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to purposely cut through these hoses and put new couplings onto each one. So it's, again, if you have a cut in your hose, maybe you have a splice, you can do the same thing. Just cut this side, take out the side that's actually broken, and then go ahead and put new couplings in. So these are my old couplings that are actually fused together, and I'm going to end up replacing them with these couplings. And these are relatively cheap. They're only $3 or $4 at the home improvement store. But now remember, if you're going to be doing this with 2 different hoses, do it the same way that you have your hoses that are broken. So you need a female end, you need a male end. You just go ahead and make sure you get the right ends. They look similar and they cost the same, even though I might even be in the same bin sometimes. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this hose, cut both sides of these hoses off, take this coupling out, throw it away, and then put new couplings in. Alright, for cutting a garden hose, you can actually use special cutters that are designed for hoses. You can use a large pair of scissors or some sort of other kind of cutting tool. I'm actually going to use an old X-Acto blade for the moment. And what you want to do is you want to cut it below where the stem is like this. There's probably a stem in here. So I'm going to squeeze the hose to find where I have nothing in there. And it looks like right here is probably pretty safe. Okay. I put a slice in. No water shooting out, so that means I remember to turn the water off, so that's good. And you want this to be a nice smooth cut. No jagged edges, if at all possible. And we're in gloves. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's a little bit of water. Oops, I missed. Go, one end, pretty smooth. Now let's do the other end. It's a little easier to turn now I don't have both hoses holding it in place. A little jagged, but there we go. That's off. Still good. Okay, here are my 2 ends. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that I get my ends the right way. So they were like this. Nope, like this. So I want to make sure I use the proper end. And you can look at the other ends of the hoses to make sure. So here we have our end. This is what was here. And I'm going to take this female end and I'm going to put it in. Now it slides in nice and easily. That's good. Sometimes you have to pound it in with a hammer. But what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to put this hose clamp on. So I slide this little hose clamp on. Now this slides in real easily. Almost too easily. So what I'm going to need to do, okay, sometimes it'll be a little rougher, but I'm going to now take this and I'm going to tighten this hose clamp on here until this hose, until this piece is held tightly inside this hose. And I'm going to do it by hand. See, it's still wiggly there. You could use a socket wrench. I'm going to use a screwdriver for the moment. And it feels pretty secure. I'll keep going. Okay, that feels pretty secure. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. So again, hose, hose, hose clamp, right on there, on the male side. And again, oh, this one is a little bit tighter. There are two different brands of hose. So if it's tight, that's okay. I'm going to use you could use something, when you want to pound this in, you want to use something soft, a block of wood, or in my case, a rubber mallet. You don't want to use like a metal hammer because you'd risk damaging these threads. And if these threads are damaged, these two won't fit together. So I'm just going to hold the hose in place. There we go. Alright, now, in fact, I even need to loosen my hose clamp a little bit to bring it up. It's about there. And now I'll tighten it. Okay, now I have new clamp on this side, new clamp on this side. They should screw together very well. They do have washers in there, washer in here, brand new. They should screw together fairly well. Okay, and last but not least, the last step here is to go ahead and turn the water on. Okay, the water's actually flowing. You can't even see it, but I can feel it in the hose. But there is no leaks. This was left over from before. It looks pretty dry, and it looks pretty tight. Maybe a little drop here and there. The hose is a little wet, but it's pretty good. So I think that's pretty much repaired. That's all there is to it.